Hello everyone, today we're going to be talking about the Empyrean Shadows patch preview. So I'm just going to go over the TLDR of what they said in the live streams as well as the main highlights. So the first thing that we get is new story. So we will get Act 10. You will need to complete Act 10 in order to participate in the event that is upcoming in this patch. So keep that in mind that maybe on day 1 you'd want to run through the story of Act 10 on multiple characters that you plan to run the event with. So that's the first thing. The second thing we're also getting is a new dungeon called Warp Citadel. This dungeon will drop a PvE or a PvP belt, depending on what path you choose. I have left a guide in the description below, however it is in Chinese. So for all my Chinese viewers out there, you guys can watch it there and get a better understanding. I will be making a guide for this dungeon, maybe in a week or two after the patch hits, as I will need to get the footage myself as well as learn the dungeon myself properly. The next thing we're getting is the third boss of Eternity Temple, or Scarlet Conservatory, which is the Dowager, and by defeating her, we will be able to unlock a new costume, as well as the Thornbreaker weapon and Breakthrough Material, which will allow us to upgrade beyond our Grand Celestial 9 weapons. So we're getting a whole new tier of weapons. The Thornbreaker weapon, from what I hear, is less RNG based and is very, very reliable and very strong. So that's good to hear. Another thing we're getting the third spec for Blade Master as well as KFM, so I'm very happy about that as I am looking forward towards the Blade Master. The KFM definitely looks very, very complicated with all those different chain commands with the ZXC skill as well as your V to execute it. So I'm hoping that there are other players out there who main KFM. I hope you guys can make more videos about it, as KFM is not one of the classes I know how to play, so I will not be covering anything about the KFM. However, for the Blade Master, you can expect a guide for the third spec maybe in around 2 weeks after the patch has been released, as I will be a little bit busy with the other classes, mainly on my Summoner and Gunner progression. However, I will find some time to try to cover more about the Blade Master third spec, so you can expect it in 2 weeks. Then of course we've got Trove coming up, everyone saw this coming, and as I predicted, we will be getting our Grand Celestial weapon materials. The sealed and non-sealed versions will both be in Trove. Of course we've got the regular Dyad, Gilded, all that jazz. Something to take note of is that the Dyad gem of the Obsidian and the Garnet is now account bound. It used to be character bound, so now they changed it to account bound, so that's really, really nice. Another thing to keep note of is the Homu Master Scrolls. We used to be capped at 10 points, and now they increased the cap to 15. So if you are already maxed, you can now buy another 5 Homu Master Scrolls and bump that up to 15. We've got Scarlet Blooms also in Trove, which is basically the currency used for Eternity Temple. It's very similar to Raven Feathers as well as Grand Celestial Wings, stuff like that. It's just used for Eternity Temple for their soul shields as well as for their upgrades. Next, of course, we've got costumes. We've got the Dragon Knight, Kimono, Olympian, and Pop Art. As you can see, here are the costumes. They did not include the kimono costume, so here is the kimono costume and how it looks. I quite like the kimono costume, especially the kimono hair, so I'm quite interested in this costume. So I will be trying to get this costume for sure. Next up are weapon illusions. So these are the regular ones, the Dragon Knight Illusion, Pop Art, Kimono, and Dragon Brand. These are the ones that go with these costumes. What's interesting are the special weapon illusions. They are the weapon skins that give you an aura. So it's very similar to like the Lotus one, as well as the other one which had the Dark Dragon that circled around you. So this one is the Dragon Shroud Illusion as well as the Dragon Shine Illusion. And here's a screenshot of how the illusion weapon looks like. So you have the particle effects around the weapon, as well as there's like a little dragon that circles around the weapon, as well as a bigger dragon which circles around your character. So this is another screenshot of how it looks. It's pretty nice. I'm quite interested in this. However, I'm not going to be troving specifically for these items, but it's definitely a nice illusion skin. We're also getting 2 new pets, so there's an owl pet and a piglet pet. So you can see here that the owl pet, it looks over here. This is when they're in their ultimate form, becomes this little waifu. And here's the pig pet, which is kind of like a pig and bee fusion, kind of strange. But yeah, there's the pig pet. Next up is we will also be getting fishing. So the event, this current event will require you to do fishing. So you can see here that it's called the Fortune's Bounty event. It's very similar to an event that we had before where you go to Fortune's Fall and then there's Zulia, she summons the big drunk guy, you get a ton of AP there and you just blast the boss away. However, other than that, you will be required to do fishing because this event requires 2 different currencies. So you get one currency called Fortune's Fish just by doing the event itself, which is the Fortune Falls, as well as doing your daily and your weeklies. Every day when you do your dailies, you'll get 6 of these Fortune Fish. I don't know how many you get from doing Fortune's Fall, but I assume you get 3, so that'll mean you got 9 every single day, and the weekly itself will also give you another 6. However, doing that will only give you one part of the currency. You will also need Angler Pearls. So in order to get Angler Pearls, which is this currency right here, you will need to do fishing. So when you actually catch the fish, you'll be rewarded Angler Pearls. And the bottom currency over here is called the Fortune's Fish. So it will require both currencies in order to participate in this event. As you can see over here, Sacred Vial will cost 60 of the Angler Pearls, as well as 45 of these Fortune Fish. However, the main attraction for this event are going to be the fish oils. So you can see here that there's the Angler Fish Oil, the Prime Fish Oil, and the Golden Fish Oil. So we're going to scroll down here, and what's very interesting is right here. So you can see that with the Angler's Fish Oil, it gives you a 50% cost reduction on your upgrades from Raven 4 to Raven 9, or your Riftwalk / Dawnforge stages 4 to 9. Then further on, when you use the Prime Fish Oil, it gives you 50% discount for your Aransu weapons from Aransu Stage 1 to Stage 6, or your Exalted / Storm Dragon Stage 1 to 6. And it also gives you 30% off for your Aransu stages 7 to 9, as well as your Exalted or Storm Dragon stages 7 to 9. So I recommend most players who are not Aransu 6 or above yet to utilize this event to quickly get their weapons up to Aransu stage 6, or if you are going the PvE path, the Exalted / Storm Dragon stage 6, because having this 50% off discount is massive. So do utilize this event to try to level up your weapons on either your ults or your mains or whatever character that you don't have an Aransu 6 weapon on yet, or the PvE equivalent. Regarding like Aransu stages 7 to 9 or even the Grand Celestial stages 1 to 3, for these I wouldn't go out of my way to try to achieve them unless it is your main character. If it is your main, you might want to consider doing this just because it does save you 30% off for your Aransu weapon, as well as 20% off for your Grand Celestial or Shadowforge weapons. So it's definitely something you can look at. However, I 100% recommend for the players who are just starting out, or the players who have ults, or players who do not have weapons that are very high level, to utilize this event. This extra 50% off for your Raven weapons and your Aransu weapon is definitely very, very attractive. So that's what I'll be doing in this event. I'll be gearing up my Blade Master 3rd spec. I'll probably get her to Aransu stage 6, as well as my 2nd gunner. I'm probably going to try to get her to at least Raven 9. I'll try to get it to Aransu 6, but no promises there. So that's my game plan for this event. Of course, you could use it for Sacred Vials. Unfortunately, because I don't know how many of these Fortune Fish we get every day, I'm unable to calculate how many oils we can get through this event. However, hopefully we'll get more information about this in the near future, and I'll be able to do a breakdown on whether this event is worth farming for Sacred Vials, or if you should just be using your event currency for the fish oils in order to get your weapons up there. And again, I want to remind you that you do need to complete Act 10 before you can unlock fishing, so you will need to beat the story or Act 10 on multiple characters if you do have multiple ults. They're introducing dynamic reward chests again for the raids, so every boss you kill, you get a extra dynamic reward chest, which has a chance of giving you accessories or soul shields. So they're bringing this back into the main 3 raids. Unfortunately, Eternity Temple will not be getting this, so this will only apply to Black Tower, Vortex Temple, as well as Twilight Temple. Daily challenges now bumped up to 5, so you can still complete your 3 daily challenges like normal and receive your regular rewards. However, when you do more, so when you complete 5 of the daily challenges, you get better rewards. For the event, it requires you to finish 4 of the daily challenges in order to redeem the extra Fortune Fish. You'll be able to get 3 additional ones when you complete 4 of the daily challenges. So basically, you need to do 4 daily challenges on every character that you plan to do the event on. However, I do recommend most people to do 5 just because you get the extra Ascendant Stone as well as the Radiant Stones, which will definitely help you a lot. Of course, we've got the new souls introduced, the Ever Spark as well as the Bright Will souls, and we also have more collection achievements, so for those who are collection hunting or achievement hunting and want that extra HP and AP, you guys can do so. And what's most interesting is they've added a equipment transfer system. So over here is a breakdown that Cyan has posted. It's really interesting because the ceiling cost is actually pretty low. So Skybreak Spires 2, Celestial Emperor, which is your Twilight Temple accessories, also only costs 2. So this is for the ring. You can also seal your Sky Shatter and your Wrathbringer rings. So what's super interesting here is your Celestial Emperor ring and earring. So these are going to be your Twilight Temple accessories. You can now seal them with 2 of these fragments. Remember, each fragment over here costs 59 Ncoin, I believe, but that's actually really inexpensive. However, there is a prerequisite. The accessories must be stage 10 or higher in order for you to send these accessories. This also applies to your Vortex Temple necklace and your Eternity Temple necklace, which is very interesting. So I can see a lot of people picking up the necklace over here on their mains and transferring it to an alt that needs the necklace. So that's very interesting. You can also transfer your Prophecy necklace, which is also very good, as well as your bracelet. I did not expect this. You can transfer your Starbreaker or your Divinity bracelet with 2 of the fragments. So you can seal it and you can transfer it. So that's actually really good. As well as, of course, your belts and your gloves. However, that's not all. The accessories that I just listed above need to be stage 10 or above in order for you to seal them and transfer them to a different character. However, your soul, your pet aura, your heart, and your talisman can be transferred at any stage. However, the mailing cost is obviously slightly higher, as they do need 10 of these fragments. Another thing that also caught me off guard is your weapons. You can also transfer your weapons to another character. However, the weapons also have a requirement that you can only transfer weapons that are stage 3, 6, and 9. So basically during their power spikes. So you can transfer your Riftwalk Dawnforge, your Storm Dragon or Exalted, Skyforge, Shadowforge, Raven, Aranzu, Grand Celestial, and Thornbreaker weapons, and they all cost the same, 5 of these fragments. So that's very interesting. However, there are a few things that we need to keep note of over here, as Cyan over here has written very nicely. Also, Cyan, thanks for the shout out, I appreciate it. Psyches will be lost on sealing items such as the Skybreaker, Celestial Emperor, Darkstorm, Thornbreaker, Starbreaker, as well as the Divinity bracelets. However, items that only have a mailing cost retain their psyches. So basically all the items up here with resealing cost will not retain their psyches. However, the ones with mailing cost do retain their psyches. That includes the soul, the pet aura, heart, and talisman. These will retain their psyches. So let's say that you have spent the 40 oils required to max out your soul's extra crit chance and crit damage. When you mail it over to another character, it will keep all of those psyches. So you're not wasting the 40 oils on doing psyches for your soul, which is very nice. So that's something to keep note of. However, for weapons, it's a different story. Weapons will lose gem slots and will be given a random amount when opening the box. Let's say you're like me, you have a Shadowforge weapon with 8 sockets. When you seal it and transfer it to another character, when they open that box, it's not guaranteed to have 8 sockets again. You may need to have extra gem hammer so that you have to open up all the extra sockets again. So just keep that in mind. And also, they're considering to add PvP weapons in a future update. So for all you PvPers out there, this is definitely good news. But yeah, that covers this patch preview. I try to keep it relatively short. If you guys have any questions, do let me know in the comment section below and I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. But yeah, hopefully this video was helpful. If it was, I would appreciate a subscribe, as it really does help out my channel. And as always, thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Bye.
What can I say except you're welcome? For the heals, the boosts, the